Good morning. So last year when my grandson was 2, we were able to go to an aquarium together. And it was fun walking around with him. And he'd walk up to like the first tank of fish and he saw all the fish. And then he realized there was another tank of fish and he's like, Mimi, more fish. And the whole time, every time we go to another aquarium, he's like, look, Mimi, look, more fish. And he couldn't even believe there were so many fish. And like we had just hours of more fish. Look, Mimi, more fish. And so this year, it's coming on a year since my dad passed away. And I call my mom every day. And I feel like Desmond, my grandson, because we talk every day. And I keep saying, more grace, Mom, more grace. And what God has done in this past year for us is just like my grandson's excitement about, there's more fish, there's even more fish. And it's about his grace, right down to, I can't even say everything, but she needed to have cataract surgery. And she calls me and goes, I got on the referral list to the best surgeon. And I'm like, more fish, Mom, or not more fish, more grace from God that he's given to us. And then she randomly called the doctor, and she's in Canada. So she got on the referral list, but she was like a long ways out. She randomly called to ask a question, and the lady on the phone said, your timing is great. We just had a cancellation, and I was going to call and see who could come in. And so my mom moved up like over a year on the list and got her surgery. Everything went well. And it's like, more grace, Mom. We got more. She had, my mom also lost her mom this year. My grandmother passed away. And a few weeks before, she and her siblings got together and just had a conversation and got thinking about something and made a decision that ended up preventing, at the time my grandmother passed, like a lot of legal hassles that would have occurred that would have cost like a lot of time. And they just like randomly did this thing, and then unexpectedly my grandmother passed 2 weeks later. And I'm like, when we're talking about it, I'm like, Mom, if you guys hadn't done that, it's like more grace. God was looking out for you. She decided to move to assisted living. And when she decided to do that at her apartment, a new assistant building manager came in. And her name is Angela. And my mom is like, I think it's really Angel. It's not Angela. She's a Christian. She and her husband were youth pastors before this. And she has helped my mom so much with like prepping to like how my mom has to downsize, go to assisted living. And they keep saying to each other, I think God brought you here. My mom keeps telling her, I think God brought you here for me. And she literally came when my mom made the decision to go to assisted living. She's helped her. This past Friday was Angela's last day. And there was one more thing. My mom still had 3 pieces of furniture that she needed to get moved that just hadn't been going. And even after her last day, yesterday, my mom called and goes, you can't even believe the last answer to prayer. Angela helped with the last 3 pieces of furniture, and they're gone. Pray for Angela and her mom. The reason she quit is she's going to be with her mom who needs to have surgeries, and she doesn't think her mom is going to be here very long, and so she's making sure she has as much time with her as she can. But I'm like, God literally sent Angela for my mom. It's like she came when she needed her, and she's leaving now. And a week from Tuesday, my mom is actually going to be in the assisted living. And when I'm talking on the phone, it's like, Mom, more grace. Oh my goodness, more grace. And James 4:6 says, but he gives more grace. Therefore it says, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. And I've been listening to a lot of old hymns lately, probably even from my dad. He was a worship leader and a pastor. And there's the hymn, He Giveth More Grace. And pardon the King James. I was like, if you're millennial or Gen Z, it means he gives more grace. And the song, you probably, a lot, how many of you know it? Do you recognize it? It's one, His love has no limits, His grace has no measure, His power no boundary known unto man. For out of His infinite riches in Jesus, He giveth, and He giveth, and He giveth again. And I just want to go over just one part in the song. It says, when we have exhausted our store of endurance, when our strength has failed, but the day is half done. Been there? You're out of gas, you have no more to go, and you still have the whole thing to do. And it says, when we reach the end of our hoarded resources, our Father's full giving has only begun. And just to call out, he gives more grace, more grace, more grace. And to say the reason he does that isn't just to make our lives better, although it does. It's to give glory to him so that he would be glorified in our lives, he would be glorified in our families, he would be glorified in our surroundings, and ultimately that he would be glorified in our world.